Hello and welcome to IB Chemistry. I'm Dr. B and let's go ahead and get started. What you see here is our mission statement for IB Chemistry. This is provided by the IB people, a delineation of what the IB student is like, and 10 reasons why the IB diploma program is ideal for university preparation. Have a look at each of these. I begin my class with a survey that lets me get to know my students a little bit. We then sign a safety contract. I think most schools would do this sort of thing. Both the parents and the students sign it. We take a safety quiz right off the bat, since safety is so essential. Once that's completed, we can begin an experiment. This may occur as early as day one. In this particular experiment for my class, we will be igniting some hexanes as well as some ethanol and comparing their properties and then considering the international implications. Here's the syllabus. Here's what you need to bring to class. This is also available at chemistryacademy.org in a PDF format. Some rules and grading policies. And here's a comparison of AP and IB chemistry. I think some students will find this useful. After all, they are the two major college credit courses, or at least potentially college credit. And if you compare them, one of the big differences is, of course, that the AP chemistry is typically a one-year course, whereas IB chemistry is a two-year course. What a big difference that is right off the bat. You'll take 3 examinations at the end of your two-year course for IB chemistry. And for AP chemistry, you'll just take 1 examination at the end of the year. The topics covered do vary somewhat. One of the biggest differences is that IB chemistry has a lot more organic chemistry. There's plenty of other differences, but that's one of the big ones. The 3 papers that you'll be taking at the end of the year, which, by the way, are not your only requirement. There's also a couple of research projects you'll be doing. But it's 3 papers. The first one is multiple choice. This takes about an hour. The second one is over 2 hours and is analogous to AP free response questions. They are structured questions with essay-type answers. And the final paper is focused more or less on experimental information, and for that one, calculators are allowed. So that's the 3 papers that you take at the end of year 2. There's some details in there that you can have a look at. Here's a comparison of AP with IB chemistry, of how they might correlate. And this might be useful if you're wondering what the differences are. So do have a look. Notice that there are a couple of additional topics in IB chemistry that you don't do in AP chemistry at all. Most notably, you do an additional topic. I chose medicinal chemistry for my students, but it'll vary from class to class. Being a 2-year course, it needs to be structured in some way. Now, this is the way I will be teaching this to my students. It's the method I've used over the years. This will vary a lot from class to class. This is roughly in accordance with the standard IB chemistry textbook. We use Brown and Ford IB chemistry. However, have a look. So for the first 2 years, we cover intro, data, stoichiometry, the periodic table, bonding. We then take a midterm exam. After that, it's the atom, the electron, some chemical reaction, gases, and then we begin the Group 4 projects, which is a collaborative research project towards the end of the first year. We then take a final exam. This gives students a good introduction to chemistry. It's not that different, perhaps, from a first-year course. In this particular school where I teach, most of the students have not taken any chemistry before, so I find that this sort of an approach is better, for example, than diving right into stoichiometry for the first chapter, which is appropriate for people who have a year of chemistry under their belt. In the second year, we cover a lot of the topics that are more challenging. We have to review year 1 in the beginning, since the summer has occurred. But then we get right into the research project, which is a wonderful part of IB chemistry, where students get to explore a topic of their own choosing in detail. I hope you really can look forward to that. extensive review, and then energy, rates, equilibrium, acids and bases, or inorganic. Those are probably the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you separate these two topics that are the most challenging for IB chemistry. So this is when things get, pretty serious. We do the same thing in AP chemistry, but of course we're doing it in the first year. Continue with more organic chemistry since it is pretty extensively covered for IB chemistry. By March, we are into the option, which is medicinal chemistry for our course, and then we begin the review as soon as we can to get as much time as we can. Note that April and May can be a bit of a mess for an IB student in terms of trying to continue or to review because some of the exams in your other topics will begin very early. So we will successfully review IB chemistry before the examinations begin. After that, we take the IB examination, known as the papers, May 22nd and May 23rd in this particular case. And then for the rest of the school year, we are involved in post-exam activities. Here's some frequently asked questions. I'm going to go through these rather quickly. IB, as you know, stands for International Baccalaureate. The students tend to be a little more creative than some other students, and I really am comparing them perhaps to the IB and versus AP students. Inquirers, thinkers, principled communicators, open-minded, caring risk-takers. How do you like that? Balanced and reflective. But why? Well, you take a look at the first slide and gives you 10 reasons why. But it's an integrated curricula that tries to tie in with other courses. They think more about knowledge. They are motivated to succeed, and they do try to have an international flavor to the content. The course is 2 years at this school, single periods. Do I have to be in the diploma program to take the course? No, you don't. Does our particular school offer the HL or the SL? That means the higher level or the standard level. We do the higher level. Do the teachers receive some special training? Boy, we do. They sent us down, it's not listed here, but they sent us down to Atlanta for a week to get special training, and we've been working closely with our coordinator throughout the program. How does it compare to AP chemistry? Well, that's a question, I suppose it might be more intriguing to me, the teacher, than to you, the students, but you'll find that it's more interconnected, and that there's more research involved, especially in independent research. Can you get some college credit? Yeah, but not everybody does it. Most colleges will do it depending on the scores on your test, but not all of them. Some, regardless of your score, won't accept it. Is it a 5-point test system? No, it's 7 points, and there's an essay as well that counts for 20%. Who scores the test? It's externally scored. What's the average test score? 4.43 out of 7 was the average test score internationally in 2016. Where can I find out officially from IB what I need to know? I recommend the guide, and it's very nice. There's also a brief overview. If you go to the PDF document at chemistryacademy.org, these are clickable. See? There you go. What gets scored by teachers and what gets scored by the IBO? Well, the only thing that the International Baccalaureate Organization really does is the other 3 papers. The prerequisites, there is nothing official, and in fact, most students will arrive having not taken an official chemistry course. The format of the test, as alluded to before, is those 3 papers: multiple choice, structured, and data and options. What's on the test? 11 topics is how it's typically divided, and these are at a college level of difficulty. What's not on the test? Oh, such a good question. If you're wondering whether you should be studying a particular topic or not, I advise you to take a look at the IB Chemistry Guide, and you may even want to search for the keyword guidance. That is the key term they use to give specifics about what and what is not assessed. I'm teaching in the United States, in the state of Connecticut, and our big public college is known as UConn, the University of Connecticut, formerly a big powerhouse in basketball and soccer. I graduated from there in '81. There you need a 5 or better to get college credit. Some good resources include the IBO site. The Wang site, which has a lot of videos, is very, very popular. And you may want to try the Thornley site, which is a little weird, but good. And there you go, some frequently asked questions. Here's some more. Some of this is specific to our particular high school. Who oversees it? She does. How many students are in the course? Only 9. Uh, how much lab work is in the course? A lot. How many tests will I have to take? Oh, plenty. 1 for each unit. Usually we try to use genuine released items. Why were the summer packets for IB and AP chemistry identical? That was a question I had on the first year, which was perhaps not the best decision. However, we've decided, being an introductory course, to not give a summer review packet for the IB chemistry students. So aren't you lucky? If you're an AP student, well, you got a lot of work to do. What do you got to memorize? Good question. Well, most formulas are good to memorize. There is a 44-page data booklet, but you can't use it for the first paper. What's in that data booklet? A lot, and it's really useful to have a look at it and strategize when you're going to look something up and when not. After all, 44 pages is almost too much information when you're taking an exam. Do you get a periodic table? Yeah, but it's pretty basic. What can you use on the test? Well, that data booklet, except not on the first paper. Calculators, not allowed for paper 1, but they can be used for papers 2 and 3. There's the 3 papers again. And how much of the test is multiple choice and how much is other? Well, 1 of the 3 papers is multiple choice. The others are of a different format. Okay, good. Here's some additional information if you want. We use the Brown and Ford IB Chemistry textbook. This does have some pretty extensive online materials available. The official site, the Wikipedia site, the YouTube site. Here's a promotional video for the parents you might want to check out. I really do recommend the Wang site. It's perhaps the most popular. Here's some other sites. This is in case you don't understand your teacher and you want a different approach, which the IB students, I've learned, are huge on. They love to do that. Other IB chemistry sites to check out if you want to are here, and some of them have a lot of test material that you can access. Okay, welcome to IB Chemistry.